preliminary as far as done and the people who control the neighborhood councils. So we really don't have a full report on that, but we'll keep you informed. Okay, thank you.
And before you go to B, you have 2 speaker cards, just so you're aware of them. Although there's no name on them. I believe these are Mr. Kuzman's.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they're blank, sir, so just as something to be aware of. Anyway,
But your speaker cards are related to the items, right? I would think. Okay. So we'll continue on. Now we're going to be our motions. The first motion we have is from Dave Bouvet, and I'll read it. Allow up to $250 for the printing and mailing of postcards to publicize the joint neighborhood council Citrus Sunday event on May 17th, 2015. And I'd like to present, or Dave Bouvet from Old Granada Hills Residents Group will present that.
Thank you, Jim. I'll be very brief. This is going to be the 10th annual Citrus Sunday event. The purpose of the event is to collect fresh citrus fruit from around the valley, but especially in the areas of Granada Hills and Northridge and Chatsworth, where we have leftovers of old orange groves and other type of citrus groves. All the fruit that's collected is sent to our valley food banks, including Valley Interfaith Council, Men, Silva, as well as some other food banks that are directly tied to either neighborhood councils or some of the churches that are participating. Last year we collected somewhere around 20,000 pounds of fresh citrus fruit that went not only to all of the valley, it was so much that some was actually sent down to missions in Los Angeles. So we're looking forward again to a good year. We have 10 neighborhood councils involved. Our organization, Old Granada Hills, Temple of Ad Shalom, right up here in Northridge, right off of Etiwanda, heavily involved. 2 years ago, we had Granada Hills Community Church helping with the drive, and they had a tie-in directly with Food Bank. And this year, Mark Morris, our new director for faith-based organizations, has joined the committee and is going to represent us as far as Granada Hills South Neighborhood Council. I attended the committee meeting and made a big pitch to try to get churches involved to a much greater extent than we have in the past, and in particular your church, Mark, which is a big church in the area, and Renee's church, St. John in the South, probably the 2 largest faith-based churches we have in the area. Well, if we could get those 2 churches involved, that would be super. So I think that's something we really want to push, and we can figure out the logistics of picking up the fruit and getting it back here. As far as the neighborhood council itself, we've gotten approval from Granada Hills High School again to make this the drop-off point. We'll be collecting from Granada Hills North and from the temple, bringing that fruit back here at the close of the event. And we can certainly do a roundabout with the churches as well, if we can just have the drop-off points right there at the church. And if there's any other additional churches that we can get to participate, the more the merrier. We'll figure out logistics. The original request was for $500. The committee cut that in half to $250. I'm fine with $250, frankly. The idea would be we would simply print $250 worth of postcards. These are fairly large color postcards, and they're hard. They're not soft paper flyers. They've got some substance to them. And they're printed on a white background with orange and green lettering. And we can put anything on there that we like. So if we want to advertise another event, we have movie night coming up, and we want to advertise that, we can put that on the card as well. So it's a good outreach tool, and hopefully we'll have some volunteers to help walk it around, but that will print several thousand cards, which we can walk around to the areas where we have fruit trees, mostly in the Old Granada Hills area, and also to give out at churches and other organizations. So I would ask your yes vote on this, and and your participation on May 17th in terms of setting up a booth and helping us collect the fruit. We're going to be asking the Key Club here, which is part of the Kiwanis, for some student help, so we all save our backs.
I think, Mr. Kuzman, you had one of your cards was for that?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to thank you, Dave, for explaining to me a little bit more, even at the committee meeting. Didn't really understand it fully. The event's a great event. You know, I'm in support of getting the outreach out and the notifications out. Just the teensy-eetsiest bit of concern here has to be with the fact that we're approving a motion to print something up that we don't have a hard copy of, to see what kind of recognition the neighborhood council is going to be getting on the cards themselves. And excuse me, but if Old Granada Hills Residents Group is also going to be getting recognition on these cards that we are printing, then any board member who has an affiliation with the group should seriously consider recusing themselves from voting on the issue at this time.
Is there any other comments on that?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Eric?
I
Oh,
just-
wait, clarification from Brandon. Let me have the clarification first.
Well, just that, as far as recusing, Dave can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a member of an organization that we pay, you don't have to recuse yourself, you just have to represent that you are. If you're on the board of that organization, then you, or an board officer, then you have to recuse yourself from leaving the room and not discuss it. Those are the rules.
Okay, Eric?
What I was gonna just ask is this in conjunction with the Old Granada Hills Resident Group?
Dave?
Well, we're certainly going to participate in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is any money coming from this group in conjunction with the cards that are going out for the Citrus Sunday?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
In other words, you're asking for $250?
Yes.
Is Granada, is the neighborhood council gonna be putting any money into that?
That's what I'm asking the neighborhood council to spend for printing the cards.
Then I have to recuse myself.
All right.
You no longer have a quorum.
Well,
Are you an officer? Okay. And Eric, are you an officer on Old Granada?
Yeah.
And we just lost a quorum, so.
Oh, we lost.
Good luck picking numbers.
I don't, parliamentary wise, because someone recuses himself doesn't mean you still don't have a.
Yeah, you still
it's
have.
a more than yourself. The majority voted.
All right, that's fine. Go ahead.
It's no different than someone abstaining.
Yeah, it's abstained.
Let's make it right.
Yeah, no, we have to.
All right, any more discussion on this?
Just a quick clarification. Dave, where did you say the drop-off point would be?
Right here.
At this school?
Yeah.
In the parking lot?
Yeah,
But you mentioned the
that'll be
church.
our drop-off point. You know, his mark usually has drop-off point in gold with everything.
For this area, it's.
For this area.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, I'll see if we can, nobody has a motion, I need a second on this. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, it's coming out of committee. Now it's just time to vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. I'm sorry, it has to be a roll call vote.
So ask for opposition first.
Okay. Is there any opposition to this, a nay vote? No? Any abstentions? Okay, and two are recused for the record, so that would be
It's
a
unanimous in favor.
unanimous in favor of this vote. Yeah, so it'll be 10-0. Okay, thank you very much. It's a great project, Dave. We'll help you out however we can. Next, on item number 2, we have Susanna Martinez to give a 5-minute talk on and present the Hope Garden, which is a Union Rescue Mission. Susanna.
Yes, right here.
You guys can come back.
We approved it.
Okay, good,
Imagine that.
good. We're out there picking fruit.
Good evening, members of the board, stakeholders. My name is Susana Martinez. I am the executive chef for Hope Gardens. I'm also general manager there for the food service department. And I appreciate you giving me this time to be here today. Hope Gardens is part of Union Rescue Mission. You've probably heard about it, downtown LA, Skid Row. But we are located in the mountains of foothills of Selma. We are a transitional housing program for 250 women, children, and we also provide permanent residence for seniors at that location. Even though we are located in Sylmar, our services are for the entire San Fernando Valley as well as LA County, so everybody's included in this. As part of my program, within the food department, we have a culinary apprentice program here, which basically takes residents from the group, and we provide some training on skills on how to cook, and they can go back out into, the real world and, have the skills, thank you, have the skills to be able to actually make it in the real world and get a job and for themselves and for their children. I would like to invite each member here today and stakeholders to come and visit Hope Gardens, see what we are about. I'll give you a personal tour of the premises. Then also today, what I want to do is I want to introduce my son. This is Daniel. Just going to do a brief commentary.
Hello, my name is Daniel Gonzalez. I have been helping the homeless community for over 6 years now. I'm also a senior at Valley Academy of the Arts and Sciences. For the community project, I would like to help bring awareness to my school about cleaning and helping those in need. I'd also like to volunteer to help facilitate communications between the neighborhood council and my school. So please consider me as you move forward to planning this event.
And what we're talking here is Citrus Sunday. So this is what it's all about, is bringing the community and partnering up. And when we usually think about homelessness, we usually get this picture of the person standing at the bottom of the ramp with a sign or pushing a cart, right? But the reality is that 90% of the people, everybody, is about 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. So if, we call these homeless circumstantial homeless. That means that they either lose a job, they're in a tragedy, a fire, or something happens, and they're placed out in the street. So Hope Gardens helps these people, so they're not in the dangerous streets down in Skid Row. You heard about the shooting that happened. That happened actually outside on the sidewalk of the Union Rescue Mission. So we bring the children, the moms, the seniors out of there and bring them and put them in these 77 acres of land and provide a safe haven for them. So what I want to do today is actually request that we partner up. And I know that you have activity like Citrus Sunday, and consider us as part of that donation as well, to send out there and help us. Become a volunteer. If you have time, we're open 7 days a week. I'm there 5 out of the 7, but I have staff that's all 5 in the morning all the way until 8:30 at night. We have people there. So you can come and volunteer, give some time. And the cards that I handed out, that has information in the back if you would like to volunteer. And if you have can drives during the year, if you have activities or events, consider us as well to come in and just provide some awareness of what homelessness is, and just to give out information to the homeless. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Yes?
I don't remember this either.
Oak Gardens opened up in 2007. Union Rescue Mission has been over 100 years. Yeah. So, at this location, it's up in Locust Canyon Road.
How many families can be housed there?
We serve 250 people, between moms, children, and seniors. It's 25 to 30 seniors, and then the rest is families.
And they're like in apartments?
They live in apartments, they each get individual places, you know, it's several buildings, that's why I wanted to invite you. If you would like to come over, you can get to see it firsthand. I'll give you a little ride through it. And we have several buildings, and we house them in lodges. Yes, sir?
Yes, you say you guys collect fruit on a monthly basis?
I would be willing to be here, every month if anybody has fruit in their yards that they would like to bring over, or canned goods, you know, I'd be happy to come and pick them up every month.
Yeah, because I've always participated in Central Sunday, and, but one of the things that had been discussed is I have grapefruit, and my grapefruit ripens prior to something like orange trees in the area, and they'd be better off if they were picked earlier rather than later. So, if I had the boxes, I'd be glad to strip them off and make them available to you and for people. Because if not, they end up falling on the ground and I throw them away and.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be more than happy to get them. I have a letter here that's going out with my information at the bottom. My personal cell phone is not that one.
Okay.
For the board members, and I have some cards for everybody else that would like to have them. I'll be more than happy, and yeah, we can work around. Yes?
Do you think the food also for food forward?
They only deliver big pallets, and we do have a partnership, actually, men collects from Food Forward. They receive the big pallets and they call and says, you know, we have, excess, you know, we have 250 cases of broccoli. And they can use broccoli, you know, 250 cases. So they'll call us and they'll call Valley Food Bank and non-profit organizations, we all talk to each other. And if I have excess rice, I'll call somebody and says, hey, I have rice, what do you have? You know, so we just do this kind of work together. Yes, sir.
Yes, this question is to Dan.
Yes.
Thank you for your volunteering for the past 6 years. It's great. It's wonderful for you in your age and doing it. And in the capacity that you want to be a liaison between our council, can you kind of describe what you want to do?
I would like to go to my school, and I would like to go to actually each individual classroom, because our school facilitates kind of time specific to helping out the community. And I would like to spend that time in the classroom in order to help move forward the Citrus Sunday event.
You know, I think we have exactly the right person for you to talk to, because we have a youth member. So, liaison.
Any future projects you would like to do also?
Citrus Sunday, I feel would be a great annual thing for me, and pursue future goals.
And do you have any possibilities there?
Well, I'm the director of youth activities,
Awesome.
and I could give you one of my cards, and then possibly get a hold of me, and then if you would like to pick up a project that you have to do for school, or maybe something you would like to do in the future, I would like to work with your members.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Suzanne.
much.
And remember to bring something for your work tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number 3 is, this is about the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils. And in your packet here, there's a little invitation. We'd like all board members who can to come down there. It's a 12th annual, and it's also open for the public and stakeholders. If you guys can make it there, we'd love to see you. It's very hard to get even our people there, but it's at CBS Studios. There's food there, and you have to call in advance to be on the list because there's security. So the motion is Granada Hills South Neighborhood Council to sponsor the 12th Annual Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils, the mixer, on March 12th, 2015, for up to $100 for food. Yeah, we have some big eaters there, they've noticed that, so they kind of flame me out. So, any,
Sorry about me.
okay, this past,
Are we gonna be on the flyer?
yeah, we should be, on the new flyer we are. This passed, the outreach committee 3-0, so I'll open it up for discussion. Any discussion?
I think we should definitely contribute.
Is there anybody against? That being the case, I'd like to, call the vote. And since,
Acclamation.
yeah, and since it is a money issue, we're gonna try the reverse voting again. I think that works well. Are there any abstentions? No abstentions? Are there any nays or no votes? No? And we'll do all in favor, just say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll call it unanimous, and the motion passes, thank you. And do make that if you can. Glenn, do you have anything to say about this?
Just to clarify, the flyer's already out, but I will text the chair now and get you on the, see if we can get you on the program, which is being printed now or produced now, so we'll try to get you on the program for the night.
Okay, we'll bring our banners.
Oh, Jim?
Yes.
I noticed that some of these functions that there are neighborhood council banners. And I don't see anything on your report, Jim, because we talked about maybe you having a banner for these functions.
Right, you're gonna have to bring it through the outreach committee.
Oh, okay.
If you contribute money, since you now have, you're entitled to bring either
Bring a
a stick-up banner or one of those pull-up banners.
Yeah,
Only those that contribute money are allowed to do that.
that's fine.
Okay.
We're contributing.
Moving on to item 4.
I know that's why I'm saying.
Item 4 now, it's about the neighborhood budget advocates. These are a group of committee members and board members on different neighborhood councils that have organized themselves to look after the city budget and give advice on how we can save money as far as the stakeholders. So we're kind of like a watchdog group for them. And for us, it's Krishna, who is our budget representative, and I'd like to have her take over briefly and present the proposal.
Okay, first off, the original town hall, meeting that we were gonna host, that has been scrapped from the agenda. There is gonna be one, but the mayor decided to have only 5 regions host one, and he's gonna do, I guess we'll all watch it from a remote location, and it'll be filmed and we'll all be able to see it. The details of that are supposed to be emailed to me. Once I receive all that information, I will forward it. Our white paper has, that I mentioned at the last, my last report, was finalized and approved, and we presented it to the mayor on Monday. We had a formal presentation, a meeting for about 45 minutes. And it's all been emailed to everybody, so there is a copy. I'm hoping that they can post the copy on the website. It's just our suggestions, the committee's suggestions on what we think, how we think the mayor and his office should spend our money, our taxpaying dollars. So you guys can read it and make some comments if you like, and if you email them to me, I'll forward them to our committee so they have a chance to see them. And that's it. Well, we do have, I'm not sure if you guys got that notice, we officially have a radio show. We had the first one was Sunday. I think I sent you guys that link if you wanted to. Here, I encourage you all to listen. There's 3 more. It's there, 3 more Sundays. And I think we're gonna be scheduling others, but these are the first 4 that have been scheduled. It's listener participation, so you can call in and ask questions if you want. Ron Galperin is the one that gets this setting.
Very good. Excellent. Go ahead, Eric.
Was there any discussion on whether the whether the budget advocates, I know they had requested increasing the neighborhood council's yearly budget. Is there any report on how that talk went?
Not yet, but it's in the white paper, so, did they mention it at the meeting on Monday?
Most of the mayor's on.
Yeah.
That was a good thing, because we gave him the white paper, and his staff promised to read it, he promised to read it, but it was mainly him talking to us about how he saw the challenges and how he was gonna work on it, so.
Okay.
They didn't really go into the details.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Now,
You can officially call in on the radio show and ask those questions. You should ask Ron what he thinks.
Oh, yeah, I will.
all right, thank you. And we also just saved $150.
For now,
For now, we'll keep it in mind for next time. Okay, moving on to item 5. It's about online voting. We kind of got hit with all of a sudden. The Department of Neighborhood Empowerment is done. The people that regulate us are wanting to try out online voting where you test on a computer. You do that for the neighborhood councils next year in 2016 for our next election. It came all of a sudden, and I don't know, Glenn, do you want to talk about this? Can you talk about it a little bit? Or not? It's all new.
I have a contract, so, so how much do you know, how much is included?
Very little, so you can start from the beginning. All we did present people in your packet that there's a result from our last 2014 elections for neighborhood councils. But we got, and after that, we don't know too much.
Okay, so just give a quick overview, and if you want to drill down anything specific, you can do that. Over the past number of years, there have been suggestions about online voting. It's been very ad hoc, if you will. Last year, 2014 elections was the first time that I'm aware of the department actually